Heart and circulatory system. The heart is the first functional organ to develop and start to beat and pump blood at around 22 days. Cardiac myoblast and blood island in the splanchnopleric mesenchyme on each side of the neural plate give rise to the cardiogenic region. This is a horseshoe-shaped area near to the head of the embryo. By day 19, following cell signaling, two strands begin to form as tube in this region. As a lumen develop within them, these two endocardial tubes grow and by day 21 have migrated toward each other and fuse to form a single primitive heart tube, the tubular heart. This is enabled by the folding of the embryo, which push the tube into the thoracic cavity. As at the same time that the endocardial tube are forming vasculogenesis, the development of the circulatory system has begun. Vasculogenesis. This starts on day 18 with cells in the splanchnopleric mesoderm differentiated into angioblasts that develop into flattened endothelial cells. These join to form small vesicles called angiocysts, which join up to form long vessels called angioplastic cord. These cords develop into the pervasive network of plexus in the formation of the vascular network. This network grows by the additional budding and sprouting of new cells in the process of angiogenesis. Following vasculogenesis and the development of the early vasculature, a stage of vasculature remodeling take place. The tubular heart quickly forms 5 distinct regions from head to tail. These are the infundibulum, bulbus cordis, primitive ventricles, primitive atrium, and the sinus venosus. All venous blood flows into the sinus venosus and is propelled from tail to head to the ventricle. The primitive ventricle will form the left ventricle. The primitive atrium will become the front parts of the left and right atria and their appendage, and the sinus venosus will develop into the posterior part of the right atrium, the sinoatrial node, and the coronary sinus. Cardiac looping begin to shape the heart as one of the processes of morphogenesis, and this complete by the end of the 4th week. Programmed cell death, apoptosis at the joining surface enable fusion to take place. In the middle of the 4th week, the sinus venosus receive blood from the 3 major veins, the vitelline and the umbilical and the common cardinal veins. During the first 2 months of development, the interarterial septum began to form. This septum divides the primitive atrium into the right and the left atrium. Firstly, it starts as a crescent-shaped piece of tissue, which grows downward as the septum premium. The crescent shape prevents the complete closure of the atrial, allowing blood to shunted from the right to the left atrium through the opening known as ostium premium. This closes with further development of the system, but before it does, a second opening, the ostium secundum, begin to form in the upper atrium, enabling the continued shunting of blood. A second septum, the septum secundum, began to form to the right of the septum premium. This also leaves a small opening, the foramen ovale, which is continuous with the previous opening on the ostium secundum. The septum premium is reduced to a small flap that acts as the valve of the foramen ovale, and this remains until its closure at birth between the ventricle and the septum inferius. Also fall with develop into a musculature interventricular septum. We can see this sequence in an animation to understand this further. I use the diagram 2D for explaining the sequence of formation of the heart inside the embryo, and I try to explain it on the 3D form. It's difficult to understand the formation of these structures in the diagram, 2D diagram, 2D illustration, as the embryo itself is 3D in the womb, and this there is a difficulty to imagine what going in reality, but we try to explain it simply and understand what's going on in detail. Thank you.